And I had the Monday brain working, and then I look up, and here's my guest with our Shockley Honda Pet of the Week.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dee Dee. Rafiki is a beauty.
Yeah, Rafiki is a very friendly, loves to rub up against people, approaches people willingly, and we have had him almost 6 weeks. He is black long hair, but when he came to us, and there is still evidence of it, he had his fur completely shaved. It looks like it was done professionally. And so far, we have not been able to match him up with an owner looking for him. He's already neutered. And since he was groomed and is so friendly, he's definitely someone's cat. But we, at this point, assume they do not want him back. And Rafiki is looking for a new home.
You assume that they don't want him back? I mean, you said he looked like he was completely shaved, had a professional treatment to... did he have a skin problem or?
No, it looks like perhaps for the summer they had his hair cut short, and it makes, I don't know if any of you have seen on the internet, the pictures of long hair cats that are shaved to look like a lion. Their head is left still long with a mane,
yes.
And then their body is short, and that's how he was trimmed. So it looks like it was done to care for him and professionally, and it is always surprising. But the reason I say we assume someone's not looking for him anymore is that we put, the day the cat comes in, we put a picture on our county webpage. We also post a professionally done picture from a volunteer who does photography in the shelter on petfinder.com. And we periodically put pictures in the newspaper. We bring cats here. When we've had a cat since May 26th, then we can only assume that the owners have not found him in the shelter and have not gotten any of our notices and are not trying to get him back.
I can vouch for how friendly he is. Instead of being shy and pulling into his cage, he comes out of that cage looking to see who's around, who he can greet, and who he can rub up against.
Very true.
This is the day after the big 4th of July holiday. Actually, there were probably fireworks all throughout the weekend. Was there any activity in the shelter as far as dogs being picked up, dogs being lost?
Just as we left to bring Rafiki over, the lobby had 2 people picking up their dogs and more people calling in. And we do have a higher number of dogs than usual for the weekend. So I suspect some of those are owned and will be picked up shortly.
Well, did you see these animals? Were they traumatized, shaking from fireworks?
Well,
because
not by
I know
this
that
morning.
It scares them to death. Okay.
Yeah, not by this morning. I'm sure the officers experienced that when they tried to corral them and bring them in and comfort them there in the shelter. But this morning, I was just seeing the reunions of, where you been?
Is that right? So Rafiki is a neutered male. About how old would you say he is?
We think he's about 6 years old. We have no way of knowing that, but we check by the wear and tear on their teeth and make our best estimate.
You can see Rafiki on my Twitter page or Facebook page, and you can call the shelter at 301-600-1546 to give this really sweet guy a home. And you mentioned last week that you had some rabies clinics coming up at the shelter.
We do. You can see the dates on our Facebook page.
Okay.
There are 2 with us and 1 with the health department. And they are between now and the end of September.
And there will be some discounts involved if you do them on these days.
And we have 2 different locations, so it should be convenient for everybody.
And Rafiki is in the adult male category, and
yes.
So then he gets an adult discount if you want to give this guy a home.
Yes, he does.
Anything else you have for us here today? I see you're going over your notes here.
Yeah, this is all about Rafiki.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he is a sweetie, and it's evidently he was sort of abandoned is the only thing we can speculate.
Right.
Because he's had some professional care, grooming care.
And people often assume when their cat's been missing a certain amount of time, well, he must have been hit by a car or he must have been taken in by someone else, rather than coming to the shelter in person to see that, in fact, we have probably 3,000 or 4,000 cats every year.
Oh, they've got to get that mindset.
Right.
Call the shelter right off the bat.
And people will often say to us, I didn't think he would go to any stranger. I didn't think. You never know what your pet will do when they feel like they're in dire straits. And since 5,000 to 6,000 animals end up in Frederick County Animal Control Center every year, please check in person if your pet is missing.
And if you've had the microchip embedded, then that will cover a lot of these problems.
Oh, that helps us a great deal. Because then we can call you.
And then if you move, you need to update that material,
yes.
Or it doesn't do any good at that point.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Our
you.
Shockley Honda Pet of the Week is Rafiki. He is a handsome guy, beautiful, dark, long-haired kitty. Call the Frederick County Animal Shelter at 301-600-1546. All you cat lovers out there, this is a sweet guy.